it'd be hard to wear it that way. But you can definitely tell that's muscle. And it's extrinsic because it's on the outside of the eye, because there are some intrinsic eye muscles on the inside. And I'll actually, they're over there where you see the ciliary body. That is where you're going to find some little intrinsic. Now, so I'm going to peel these back more because you can see the optic nerve a little better that way.
And that's the muscle now, you're just cutting away.
Yeah, I'm peeling it off the outer wall of the eye. Now you guys been looking at the eye. What's the outermost layer? What's the outermost tunic? The sclera, right. And you can see the sclera. Let me pull this one back. I'm always amazed how many people miss being able to identify the extrinsic muscles. That comment tells you, you know that I will pin an extrinsic muscle.
You said we wouldn't need to know like the medial or the.
No.
We just know one of the whatever name it is, either the oblique or the.
No, we won't.
Just extrinsic
Just that
muscle.
it's an extrinsic muscle.
Just they will blow it. They have blown it on that it's an extrinsic muscle.
Yeah, I tend to overthink things like that.
Yeah, but you can see here, and remember that the extrinsic muscles are actually attached to the sclera, and thus they're going to be contracting. They're going to be moving that eyeball. Okay, so. Extrinsic muscle, then the optic nerve, that little bitty part coming in the back.
It's like a blooming onion.
Looks like a little,
Yeah, it does.
looks like a little fried
Never
dumpling.
be able to.
Now the other structures that you can identify is the sclera, that the outer coat. This is a cornea.
So is that the sclera too, right here? On the other side of the muscle? Is
This
that
part
considered-
here, that's also considered part of the sclera. So for the outside view, about the only thing you can really see is the optic nerve, the sclera, the one of the extrinsic muscles, and the cornea. That's about the only thing you can see there.
That's a good review from my video.
Gotcha.
From the cornea, about right in there, and I make a cut. Now you're going to see some fluid come out of there.
Get over here and get you some of that.
I'm good on the food.
I'm good on the forehead.
It's humor.
That's nice.
Squirt.
You know, I'm like Fear Factor, how they use tape. Oh, wow.
Okay,
That's good.
this what you're seeing right here, this
Oysters.
sort of gelatinous, that is the vitreous humor. You see on the board, posterior segment contains the vitreous humor, all of that in there. Now, what you see in the yellow, you see where they show that the retina has been pulled back. We're starting from the in-type structure in there. That's the retina.
Looks like a tree kind of branchy.
Well, it's really delicate. Now, I always love to take a pen. Is there a pen over there? No, not a writing pen.
Like
Uh,
an actual pin?
Like a
No,
stick?
the one with the little colored balls on it. I don't have them in there. And I'll stick it right there. What is that?
Wait, where?
Right there.
Fovea central ulnar.
You're getting too detailed. You can't
just
see
kidding.
that one. You can't see that.
Optic disc?
It's the optic disc. Because all of this layer here is the retina. That's the neural part.
I can't see. Where's the optic disc?
Inside.
That little part right there.
It's like the very center of the room.
Because what's happening is all of those ganglion cells, it doesn't show in this picture, it shows in the other, are feeding into that optic disc. Well, I'm picking up some of the choroid.
Oh, wow, look at that good color. The choroid's pretty.
Choroid's blue.
It's really pretty.
That's where they all meet, is at the optic disc.
So it's all
That's where
feeding into
that's
that.
where all the ganglia meet.
The
That's
thing
why
you're
it's the
picking out right
blind
now is the
spot.
retina, correct?
That's the retina.
Okay.
And
So are you gonna have that pinned up like that, or just like pointing to it on the inside? before
well,
you pull it out?
I'll have on the other, I'll have the pin into the optic disc. Now, what's on the opposite side of the optic disc is the optic nerve. So that's the retina right here. Now,
That's the blind spot. Is the optic
that's
disc,
the
right?
blind spot. I'm going to rip that out. Now, the choroid. The choroid, which is kind of, that is this layer right here.
The one with the color.
This dark layer.
Oh, and it has that branchy pattern on it. So really, the retina was just laying on top of it
Yeah.
and showing it through it. Oh, that's
But
cool.
this is the choroid. This is the middle layer.
Are all of them that color, that bluish color, or is that what gives
So while you wrap
Yeah,
it layer,
because-
it's like,
green, brown? What gives that
This
color?
is from an animal then that when you shed, focus your light, here is the sclera. It's real tough. Okay, so that's about all you can see from that. You can see the three layers. You can see the optic disc. Now, if I take this and I remove the vitreous humor, it's gelatinous.
Oh, just fold open. It's like a giant contact.
See, that's why I thought that was the lens. So inside, it would have been like a bubble.
This is the lens.
Oh, okay.
That's the lens. You guys.
I know an easy way how to clean up throw floor if we need to.
Surely not
Pass out over that.
that's what I like.
My dad would have been already on the floor. Straight up.
You were
My dad would have been on the floor already, like in a second. He don't do stuff like that.
See, I thought that
That's
was
still
him.
more of that visceral humorous.
That's still
Okay.
the virtuous
Jelly, all the
humor.
jelly,
Yeah, dug out.
Now the vitreous humor is always posterior to the lens. If you look over there, you see down at the bottom it says posterior segment, vitreous humor, and then you see just about what would be around 9 o'clock. Anterior segment contains aqueous humor. The lens is the dividing line between the posterior segment and the anterior segment.
So we
Now-
haven't gotten to the aqueous.
If you have, would someone grab either model 1 or model 2 of the eye? The ora serrata, or the anterior part of the, you see that black, I went the top part.
Sorry.
You see this black here? They'll call that the choroid. One of them has it as a choroid, one of them has it as ora serrata. The reason it's called the ora serrata is because of the sawtooth type of shape there, you know.
Okay.
But that's the anterior part of the choroid. For instance, here is the sclera. The red is the choroid layer. We saw it as that black here. And then as you move more anterior, this is also part of the choroid. Okay? All of this red in here. Then the orange is the retina. Now this is where I don't always agree with how they do their models. They'll call that the oris serrata. I think I have it on your list because one of the eye models will call that the choroid. And it is right up here at the anterior part of the choroid.
So it's almost combining those
Yeah.
two.
The most anterior part of the choroid makes up the iris. So you have the posterior biggest part is the choroid, and then as it moves forward, it's going to make up that ciliary body. You see it up there at about 10 o'clock. And then if you drop a little bit further down, you see the iris right there at about 9 o'clock. That's all really part of that middle layer. But it as it moves forward, it can. Now, this part